Alrighty, hi Yahazu, how's it going? Alright. Poyo! Can't forget the Poyo. And I did launch the game briefly, but I have not adjusted audio settings, so we'll see if it's too loud or too quiet. Let me know. The game window's too large too. Let's see. Yeah, definitely it's getting cut off. Okay. Is that 1080p? Let's drop that down to 720p. Options. 720. That's too small. Maybe 1600 by 900. There you go. That fits. And now it's slightly off-centered. There we go. Cool. There we go. We have the game. Alright. Okay. Library of Ruina. Let me know if I need to adjust the volume. Got to the street, my hands in my pockets. Seems one that can't. Still cannot leave this place. Even at the end of all this, I cannot be free. Am I not allowed to have a dream that is beyond my means? Damn it. The purple tear. Can't believe this is how she handled it. What the hell happened? What's with all the smoke? Guess I'll have to trust her. I'll only say this once. I despise verbose and roundabout speech that doesn't get straight to the point. So don't try to get wordy, just answer my questions. How's that, Roland? Nice. I do recognize the name. You don't get to question me either. Where did you come from? How did you enter this place? And for what purpose? Like Angela in her feather dress because she never uses it again. Cool. That is a fun design. I'm currently covering up the chat window. Let's see. I'm gonna put the game window down here. Oh, who are you to... Oh boy, I'm suddenly getting all nauseous. Ah, my leg! I warned you and you crossed the line. Let me ask you one more time. Where did you come from? How did you enter this place? And for what purpose? I was just walking around, ended up here before I even realized it. I have no idea how I got here. Damn it, blood's gushing out of my right leg. I swear I wasn't trying to trespass, I don't even know where this is. Let's throw back to her outfit in the true ending of Lobo Corp. Yeah, that makes sense. I gotta, like, bridge that gap. Some might be a bit low, but that could change in a battle. Alright, cool. I don't know if I can change the settings from here. Oh, but I can turn it up in OBS. I'll turn it up a little bit, and if that is still too loud or too quiet, let me know. Woke up around 1 p.m. and started walking around the streets of District 13. Since I was just out and about, I figured I could go wherever I wanted. So I decided to drop by Ham Ham Pang Pang, where they served a weekly special sandwich. Good for now, I'll complain if that changes. Sounds good. Anyway, I had bills to pay, got no jobs, had to make a living somehow as a one-man off. Ah! And Peg Peg mentioned, let's go. Is that a sandwich shop? You dragged on too long. I'll be taking your left arm and left leg next. You have no purpose, you don't even know how you got here. Just who are you? Just an ordinary fixer who's hit rock bottom. What the hell is this place? Who are you? Project Moon's actual food merch shop? Nice. That's fun. That's right. I forgot you'd mentioned that before, yeah. Ah, come on. Taking two limbs at once is cheating. I'm the one asking questions. Your name? Roland. Good. Welcome to the library. You had to serve any guests, but then you suddenly appeared out of nowhere. It took me quite a bit of effort designing this library to ensure that no uninvited guests could enter, you see. It's mentioned in the end credits of each canto in Olympus, too. Nice. Damn it, these limbs are all I had. I don't have any cash or mortgages to get new ones anymore. Seems fainted. Wake up. My legs, my arms. Wait, they're all intact again? Now she's in a different outfit. She'll be able to swing your arms and walk again. They made a few readjustments to your body to make it a bit easier to use. Well, you did trespass on my library. I also took your limbs away without your consent, so I'm giving you these as an apology. Quite patient and generous, you see. It's casually tortured her. Oh yeah, okay, I'll just rewind that. Sorry about that. Patient my ass. Am I really supposed to be thankful for this? And your warning isn't in effect anymore, right? Nope, not anymore. Had a few thoughts while you were knocked out. Here's my conclusion. You'll help me out here. What? Huh? Do syndicates these days kidnap people this way too? Or is this one of the wings? There are rumors that they abduct test subjects from here and there for singularity research. An acquaintance of mine apparently began jumping between dimensions as a side effect of one of those experiments. My life really is an unlucky mess. There's a library. I don't know the syndicates you're talking about, but this place is in a wing at least. Doesn't really matter. Whatever the case, I'm trapped here and you'll exploit me, right? I get Roland's title is Intruder. Yeah. I mean, you did show up uninvited. Unintentionally, potentially. Yes, I'm letting you live for 2 reasons. First, I need an analysis of how you could enter this place uninvited. Sending you back or neglecting you without knowing the reason could pose a significant threat to the library. Well, it's not like you can leave without my permission anymore. Second, from now on, I will collect books about the city in search of the one absolute book. I want you to help me with this process. Since you're a resident of the city, I expect you to be helpful in various ways. I knew this would happen to me someday. It would disappear without a trace, only to be found as chunks of flesh much later. I used to laugh at those poor folks for being careless and unlucky. Now I'd see it has nothing to do with carelessness or anything, huh? It happens without a moment's notice. And now he's a servant. Yep. No longer intruder. Don't be too concerned about your life. You're not allowed to die here unless I permit you to. Yeah, that sounds like Angela. Yeah, so this is a crazy laboratory sort of deal. You shove random stuff like corn kernels and clockwork into people's stomachs and turn them into walking popcorn spewing popcorn machine men or something? It's gotta be the worst. I'd much rather die and be over with it all. Expect such nonsense one more time, I'll gladly turn you into a human popcorn machine as you so wish. I've already gone through so many cycles of bullshittery, responding to every bit of meaningless rubbish. Sorry, ma'am. Let me introduce myself properly. My name is Angela. I'm the head librarian and director of this library. Angela. That's a nice name. That's a good name. So what am I supposed to do? Your role is to welcome the guests invited to the library. I'll carefully determine what guests to invite and write an invitation accordingly. You will entertain the guests once they accept the invitation and arrive at the library. Since you have actual experience working as a fixer, I'm sure you'll be able to give the various types of guests a much better reception than I could. Just a washed-up grade 9 fixer, though. What's this reception all about, anyway? Do I catch their eyes or be a waiter for them or something? It's simple. You just have to deal with the guests. In a physical manner, of course. The library presents the guests with an ordeal, and books will open up in the process. The guests who have overcome the ordeal will be deemed worthy to earn their books. There's a possibility that you may die in the process of reception, but it's only temporary. You'll get back up when the library closes. No one here may rest without my permission. You happen to have some weird fantasies about fixers? Aren't you expecting too much from a grade 9? Not as talented as you seem to think, you know. That's none of my business. I prepared a manual for you, so go ahead and figure things out yourself. I don't know if you looked into fixer grades, but grade 9 is the lowest, grade 1 is the highest, only topped colors, which are basically grade 1+. That makes sense. So all of the colored fixers that we saw in Lobocorp are top grade. Or I guess it was just the ordeal colors, that doesn't count. But that makes sense. So he is lowest ranked. Had to get some experience then. I get the gist of it now. How does invitation work exactly? Still don't know what this fixer's deal was because they're never acknowledged story-wise. That's true. You did meet a colored fixture in the Red Mist. That's true. They were a colored fixture, that makes sense. I wonder if the other fixers aren't like actual fixers, but just like... Since all the things are like manifestations of people's like subconscious, I wonder if they were just like people's fear of fixers turned into living creatures. Just like from the subconscious rather than being actual humans. Something like that. I don't know. Load up the invitation and register the books you wish to serve to your guests. And next, the invitation will be naturally sent to those who need the books. Ideals are manifestations of specific aliens' minds, since it could be since they got raided by the head. Yeah, that would make sense, right? If it's his subconscious fears of being raided, that would make sense. That's it. Sounds a bit too easy. The invitation is another carefully crafted work of mine, much like the library. Yes, think of it as a compass. It'd be easier to understand that way. Ah, a compass? Is it the tool that tells directions? That's right. The invitations will guide me towards the one book that I truly wish to obtain. Sometimes the invitation may turn red according to the books you've registered. Red invitation indicates that it can be sent to the special guest who will unravel the next part of the story. If we register the books that match what the red invitation wants, our journey will be halted for a bit. There's no guarantee that the guest will always respond to the invitation, right? In fact, there is. They're destined to come. And the guests will accept the invitation of their own will and enter the library. That's surprisingly polite and fair for something that takes place in the city. Most of the time, people's lives are taken away by others without any consent or agreement. Like mine, presumably. Well, anyway, once we get those books, what comes next? Looking at the infinite book mod you mentioned at some point? I have not yet. I'll probably need to do that. You talking about that? Cut down on some grind? Library is a place of limitless possibilities. Be fine for the early game? Cool. I'll look that up after stream, probably. Even I cannot fathom the infinite space and power of this library just yet. That's why I wish to complete the library by filling that space with books. Now I'll get in my hands the one perfect book that will complete me and my library. Perfect book, huh? I suppose those books are different from the ones I know. Alright, are we getting into the gameplay now? Steve's saying the game's running with 1000 FPS. I guess it is just a black screen. That makes sense. That means it doesn't have VSync though. That's kind of concerning, actually. That can cause issues. Well, it's taking a while. Hello? Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to stay this black for this long, that's for sure. It's not responding to any inputs. I guess I will restart the game. That's unfortunate. Weird. Hopefully I can play the game. I might as well have to find something else to do. I should be able to fast forward through the dialogue, I think. There's a skip button somewhere. Well. Okay, let me Google this real quick. Library of Ruina, black screen. Alright, good. Reddit's got me covered. Alright, I gotta edit some graphic settings. Give me a minute. So I was noticing that the game was running too fast, and it sounds like that might be the issue. The game runs too fast and it misses a frame. It glitches out. Should be quick. Control panel. And there's still a way to access the NVIDIA control panel somewhere. There it is. Alright, manage 3D settings. Override Project of Ruina, or Library of Ruina. Everything's running so slow all of a sudden. Come on. Don't crash. Okay. Steam Library. Library of Ruina. Override the exe. Change vertical sync to off. Let's try that. That's kind of crazy. Okay, let's try relaunching the game. I do see there's a launch with mods button when I run the game through Steam. So I guess it supports mods innately. That's kind of cool. So Lottery Corporation does not support mods out of the box. There's a lot of hacks that go into that one. Okay. Okay, there we go. A lot of fan-made fights. Nice. String theocracy, your beloved. Nice. DMC is gonna work. That's true. I'll see if this gets flagged. Worst case, if I get demonetized, I don't really care. Getting my Google account banned would suck though. There's going to show you more of the pianist at some point. Maybe they're saving it for later.
Can you love your
What color are your electric sheep? That's a fun line. Since she's an AI. This person appeared at some point between Lobocorp and Library of Ruina that killed a lot of people. It was killed by a color that died in the process. Gotcha. Alright. There we go. Here, guests are formally invited to the library. The library's books can provide you with all the wisdom, wealth, honor, and power you seek. However, an ordeal will await you in the library. Can it overcome this ordeal, you'll be converted into a book yourself. Angela. As far as we're aware, it's been the strongest distortion so far. That was the first Avengers level threat. Reception begins by sending an invitation to guests whom you want to invite. You want to navigate to the question mark to begin this process. I assume that's this one. Once upon a time, select the episode you want to play. That is the only one available. This panel will provide the set of books required to start the episode. It shows a list of books currently in the library's possession. Select the need a book now. Book of something. And the final preparations for the invitation. Okay. Alright, send the invitation, confirm your choice with the send stamp. Hey, hurry up and scrape them up now. Those Y goons might arrive any second. Game's OST is so jazzy. Nice. I do enjoy jazz. Doing my best here. I just can't seem to get a clean rip of his guts. The contents of this guy are weirdly different. Never even heard of a body modification procedure that does this. Something's off about these organs. They're looking really strange. Damn it, their footsteps are getting closer. Forget about clean cuts, just pull them out and take them. At this rate, our heads are gonna get nicely chopped off of our bodies. Why does he have this kind of stuff in his body? Whatever, just take them. We're out of time. Location, somewhere in the back streets. Do you have any idea how little it narrows it down? I guess that's all that matters. All of the back streets. Just about done. Now run! Phew, that was close. You're a bold one, Pete. Going for a gut harvest in a territory managed by the Zwei. Be finding rats in the nest, that's for sure. True. The only jobs we have left. We have to climb up by any means necessary, whatever it takes. You know my dream, right? Being on one of the fingers of the back streets? I'll admit, it's rare to see someone with a dream these days. Let's solve these guts we've hauled first. Gotta prepare enough cash to offer to the stray dogs. True, this could be our chance to join an urban legend class syndicate. Alright, time to check out the harvest. Hey, is this a joke? Sure you scraped up the right stuff? I told you, this guy didn't have a single proper organ inside him. Expected to enter soaked in drugs like enkephalin at the worst. These are damaged too badly. It's almost like someone already blew them up. Only doused him with anesthetics. Didn't do no harm. This doesn't make any sense. How could he have even walked around with these messed up organs? What if it's one of those? You know, rumor says there's a guy who skewers and threads people alive to turn them into dolls. Yeah, I've heard of that too, but look at the state of these things. Not the case at all. Yeah, those dolls are made by threading flesh and bones together. This son of a bitch didn't have any scars or stitches showing outside. Now think about it, there was a round orange symbol on the back of his neck. Thought it was a tattoo at first, but he didn't seem like the type to have one. He was a desk-working dweeb. Symbols? Tattoos? Damn it, please don't tell me we poked the wrong beehive. Besides that, he also had this envelope on his body. So much foreshadowing. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on, but I guess we'll find out. The hell is an envelope doing in a human body? This keeps getting worse. Give me that. Invitation to a library? What's this about? Books? We can get books in the library? What a bunch of nonsense. It was a flop after all. Payment is due tomorrow. Got 7 hours to be exact. That's too little time for another run of gut harvesting. Haven't watched anyone play the game since you beat it, so you're catching up. Very, makes sense. Right in the library, as the invitation says. I don't know what this book thing is, but we're out of options. We gotta take any chance we get. Isn't this just suicide? We don't know what kind of place it might be. Can't be any worse than dying to the stray dogs at the Y Association. We're screwed anyway. Shut up and follow me if you want to live. What was that we just saw? Fragments of the invitation process. And take a peek at the stories of our upcoming guests. I don't know what this book thing is. Project Moon Community in a nutshell. You want me to do... What did you say? Read? What does that mean? I don't know what that word means. Didn't take you for a peeping Tom. More convenient to know what kind of guests will visit us in advance, isn't it? Besides, this is the invitation's will, not mine. It's a splendid thing you got there, ma'am. Prize upon people and kidnaps them too. Perfect tool for crimes. Hey, if the invitation can do all that, why don't we just skip the whole reception part? Can we just teleport them right into a room full of traps or something? I cannot do that. You can only take a peek when it has been decided the guests are coming here of their own volition. The invitation's power isn't wholly mine either. I'm simply borrowing it. Yeah, no way anything can go so smoothly in the city. You're desperate guests. Tell me, was the invitation responsible for that symbol and internal damage as well? What? Not a chance. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened. The invitation simply finds a way to those who need it. It means those weird happenings were someone else's doing. Never seen that kind of phenomenon back when I was a fixer. It's like something from the ruins. Ruins? I don't know a whole lot either. I only heard stories of it. Should I describe it as magic? That kind of stuff exists in the ruins, apparently. In any case, we simply greet our guests. They seem to be low class, but oh well. They're probably a bunch of lowly gangsters from the back streets. We call them rats. Groups of half-assed thugs that barely qualify as a syndicate. They don't have money or power. You're losers who only think about making ends meet day by day. I might have just roasted myself here. Backstreets. I know of them. You do? Someone I know was from the backstreets. Well, that's nothing special, really. Backstreets stretch all over the city like veins. Heck, it might actually be tougher to find someone who isn't from the backstreets. So this is a library. Looks fancier than I thought. Could be a bunch of valuable things here. Greetings, dear guests. This is the library. And I am Angela, a librarian of my role's namesake. You may find what you desire here. You may end up yielding your precious possessions to us. You're the owner of this place? We're allowed to take whatever we want here, right? Indeed, you may earn books, to be exact. If you're able, of course. Are those book things really worth a lot, though? Of course they can be. The information they hold is valuable. Mangchi. Beggars can't be choosers. We gotta cling on to anything we can find. And you find your book in this place, then. I was hoping they developed the ruins at some point. That sound dope. Yeah, that definitely sounded like, hey, if we ever want to like do a magic game, let's just like set up in advance a place for that to happen. Up here you can see some bare information about the librarians who will participate in the reception. Section you detailed information about the selected character. And you can check the list of combat pages, cards, and selected character will use in the reception. Okay. On the guests that have accepted the invitation library shown here. The section you view detailed information about the selected character. Underneath, you can check the list of combat pages, cards, selected character will use in the reception. As I've mentioned a few times, and every time it's been to say, yeah, the character found this cool relic inside and it's really strong. Nice. That makes sense. Lights, camera, action. Select the bar or press the relevant button to start the battle when you have finished reviewing all available information. Okay, so we got HP, stagger resistance, speed dice. We got slashing, piercing, and blunt damage types. We have resistances and stagger resistances. Okay. Damage and stun gauge sort of thing, sounds like. I'm sure we'll see what all this does, but it looks like it's a mixture of offensive and defensive things of varying values. Now non-canon Wonder Labs come against the characters becoming Ruin Raiders too. Nice. And we can see the rats in this case. And their stats. Their cards. Alright, I don't know what all these numbers mean yet, so we'll play until we understand the rules, I guess. But so far it seems straightforward enough. We have the one librarian that we have. We could deploy up to 3 if we had more. This text describes the ability of the page, usually activated upon use. Combat 3 types of offensive dice exist, each corresponding to a different damage type. And slashing, or an offensive die slash type. And then the pierce icon performs a pierce attack, performs a blunt attack. Shocking. It's simple enough, but keep in mind that the difficulty spike is a difficulty spear. Alright. We'll see how it goes then. Okay, yeah, so slashing, piercing, blunt. Slashing, piercing is the arrow, blunt is that. Okay, makes sense. Ability of an action die written on its right may activate when the die is played based on its condition. This ability is activated when the attack hits the target, or the die wins in a clash against an opposing die. When battle using combat pages needs a resource called light. The amount of light a character currently has is indicated by the number of yellow icons above them. Scene begins, press spacebar to roll the speed dice. Good off harvesting more guts, don't magnesius. Stay calm and cool your head. Okay. This is just showing us so we have not initiated combat yet? Okay. Our speed value offers you the following advantages. If the enemy's speed is lower than yours, you can redirect their attack to you. So the higher speed values will act first. So you can redirect the lower enemy speed to yourself. Interesting. The speed die of the librarian. Grants hand of combat pages. I guess they're all targeting him. I guess that's what that means. We got 3 light, so I'm guessing that's the number in the top left. It is the number on the die. That makes sense. So we rolled a 1. These guys have a 2, so I guess they're going first. Rolled a 1, rolling while Lenny rolled a 3. Okay, a 2. I was about to say, that looks like a 2 to me. Alright, I know they've got, like, damage resistance and vulnerabilities, but I wasn't paying attention to know what those icons mean. I see that. Those details here? No. A bunch of information there, though, that I don't know yet. Okay. So I guess we'll do an offensive one. The speed have an opposing character to target them with the attack. By pressing Q or clicking on the icon, you toggle quick mode. Mode the action die are rolled automatically during battle, allowing COD to play out smoothly. When it is off, the player must manually roll the action dice and each engagement by clicking or pressing space. Utility, you can automatically fill the library speed dice with the combat pages in their hands. Cards are randomly determined. This makes the battle proceed quicker at the cost of precision and strategy. So there's like a random attack mode. Never turn off quick mode, yeah. That seems like the better way to play, as long as you're following what the combat's doing. It's a visual indicator showing who the librarians and guests are currently targeting for attack. When pressing 1, 2, 3, enemies clash as librarians on the keyboard or by clicking on the icons. In the spacebar, clicking on the icon if the speed dice have been rolled, you can begin the combat phase. So they're all attacking him. We're attacking back and forth, so that's going to be a clash, I guess. You can see that we're targeting them. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yes, to play. Only one of the 2 opposing characters is dice to play. A one-sided attack occurs. This happens when a character targets an enemy that isn't targeting them back. Only offensive dice are played at one-sided attacks. The defensive dice will be retained until the scene ends or an enemy attempts a one-sided attack. The defensive dice only manage for clashes. Now, if characters in engagement have dice to play, a clash occurs. This usually occurs when the speed dice and 2 characters target each other. Any defensive dice or counter dice may also cause a clash. In a clash, the results of actions are determined by comparing their rolls. Offensive dice can only deal damage equal to the roll by winning the clash. So between defensive dice, follow the rules on the next page. The Project Moon fans being illiterate because why are there so many tutorial pages? Yeah, this is a lot to follow before we even like have our first attack. Okay, so block dice. If you roll a higher number than the offensive dice, you completely block the damage and deal staggered damage by the difference in value. If you lose against offensive dice, you mitigate some of the incoming damage. You try to clarify this later if you need to. Cool. So far, I think I'm following, but there's a lot. Mini Clasher's defensive dice. So if the other person only has defensive dice and not offensive dice, and this one comes into play, I guess we'll see how the dice match up. Deal stagger damage equal to the roll value, that makes sense. And then evade. Completely negates damage, the evade die is retained. So if you successfully win a evade roll, then you gotta keep evading. As long as it's not mass attacks, because you always YOLO those. Fair enough. Draw. If you draw, then it negates damage if the die is lost. If you win against defensive dice, the character recovers stagger resist. And presumably if you lose against offensive dice, then it's just lost and you don't negate damage. Okay, so basically you want to evade if you think there's a good chance that you're going to fully evade and not take any damage at all. But if you do get hit, then you take the full damage. Whereas blocking reduces the damage in all cases. But you don't get to keep it rolling across multiple attacks, I guess. Okay. They attacked. And we won. Alright, that did go really quick. I'm not sure I followed everything that happened there. Yeah, they attacked, we took damage, and then we attacked that person, we won the clash, it looks like. And we killed them. Taking physical damage will decrease the character's HP, indicated by the red gauge. When the HP of the librarian or guest brought down to 0, they will die. If that's really weak, it doesn't help. Makes sense. As they meet their demise in the library, will be resolved into books. The higher the guest's emotion level was, the more likely they are to lead books in greater quantity or quality upon death. Even if the librarian dies during combat, they rise again once the reception is over. Fly with me to the end, just don't be a nuisance. I'm not gonna be patient and get things done for certain. Okay. So now we roll speed dice again. So we rolled higher, so I don't think that really matters, but we choose first. So you're weak to piercing, so if I do, I'm assuming that's what that means. So I do a piercing attack here, is that what I want to do? I think I lost. I just took damage. Oh, I'm gonna turn that off just so I can follow what's going on. I didn't put in a card. Oh, right. That makes sense. Okay, so this one does 3 to 6 piercing. And he's weak to piercing, I think. Are these the cards that they've already selected? Is that what that's showing? Okay, I can mouse over these and see it. He's weak to blunt. He's trying to evade. He's trying to do blunt damage to me. And he is weak to piercing. So if I... or she is, sorry. So if I do this one, this should... They can only roll 1 to 2 damage. I can roll at least a 2 on defense. So I should take no damage and then deal piercing damage. I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but I think that's the gist of that interaction. Okay, and I still have 2 light. Does that mean I make multiple attacks, or that I just bank that for next turn? I assume I only make 1 attack. Light's just cost, yeah. Yeah, I got that. Okay. They're all attacking me, I'm attacking them, clashing with them. Or like max currently, and the card you use takes 2. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, so they're attacking with 1 to 2, I'm attacking 3 to 6. You did more. Oh, okay, and I still carried over my defense die for the next attack. That makes sense. Okay. I'm gonna keep quick mode off for now, just so I can follow how this is being resolved. And then once I get the hang of it, I'll turn it back on. I scared over it. I think I'll get back 1 each turn, so you should have 3 available next. Makes sense. Character may inflict or receive 2 types of damage: physical damage and stagger damage. Yeah, so health bar, stun bar. Types of stagger damage will reduce the target's stagger resist on hit. When stagger resist equals 0, falls into a staggered state. It's indicated by broken speed dice. Like cards that give you back light, you never really paid attention to it. Makes sense. Staggered character will receive fatal damage from all forms of attack. Cannot act for the rest of the current and next scene. Cannot restore light at the beginning of the next scene. Cannot draw pages at the beginning of the next scene. It restores 1 light after staggering an opponent. Yeah, so being staggered sucks. Rolled speed. And they're both staggered, so they don't get to do anything this turn. Being staggered do suck. Sounds about right. Alright, so if I have multiple attacks on here, then that should mean that I clash with those. I don't know. Let's see if I understand. So I got 1 damage die here, and there's no opposition, so I just roll it. He dies. Okay, now. So we're not actually attacking, then the other dice just don't matter. They only matter for if we do multiple clashes. Or maybe it was because just they didn't have a chance to attack. Attack stops if the target dies. That makes sense. Unopposed since they were staggered. Yeah, that makes sense. They're trying to evade. First you roll that. You're not dead yet. Okay, then we move on to the next dice. So we get to use multiple dice. Got it. Congrats obtained. Curtain call for the reception of rats. Okay. I think I understand the basics, more or less. Feel more confident about it as we play more. Check the books you've obtained from the reception here. If you have failed the reception, this part will show the books you've lost instead. Dice on a card is used in order until you use all of them or the target is gone. Makes sense. So you can potentially burst someone down by doing 3 attacks all at once, or you can do a mix of offensive and defensive dice to potentially mitigate some damage. You've obtained, yep. Okay, the battle symbols your librarians have obtained from the reception here. It's time to conclude the reception and exit the stage. Piper, headwear 3, HP plus 1, headwear 2, 2% chance to do stagger damage of each type by 1. And they got a bunch of books of rats. So are they dead? Or they just kicked out of the library? I guess they turned into books, right? Battle symbols are basically the ego gifts of this game, and you can put them on or remove them whenever between receptions. Cool. Yeah, they're books now. Rest in peace. Rest in book. What if it's so important for them to belong to a renowned syndicate? It's all part of the city life. You have to belong to a group, be it a syndicate or anything else. Living in the city gets too tough otherwise. Rest in pages. Ah, there we go. Floor of General Works open, level 1. You can now select the floor of General Works during reception. New assignment has been added. Section you can burn the books you have obtained. Okay. Peter. Doing Tree of Life again. Okay, so you can currently equip combat pages. This combat page is owned by the player. That makes sense. This time it's right side up. Nice. It's not upside down. Yeah, keep it in position. Please burn a book before you proceed. Yeah, I think I went too fast. Wants me to burn books first. Still using Olympus if you want to know. No, can't fault them for having a preferred mythologies. Alright. See what the books in your possession have to offer before burning them. These books are also used for inviting the guests to subsequent episodes, so it's recommended to keep at least one copy in your possession. Okay, so we can burn duplicate books. What it sounds like. To gain cards. This assignment gives you something like 9,999 of any book you obtain. That makes sense, so you don't have to grind for it. Check the list of items that can be obtained from burning the book. It's a relevant button to begin burning your books. You can burn up to 20 books at a time. Generally, you want to keep at least one book of each type for progression. Makes sense. Oh. So we're just burning one? Okay. Burn a book for the first time. Achievement get. You burn books on a floor, you'll see a lovely animation in that floor's color. Tutorials, they're making you do only one for now. Makes sense. And you may randomly obtain pages of that book. Burning a book yields different pages each time based on chance. You do up to 20 once later. Makes sense. As pages you may acquire from books, key pages and combat pages. Key pages constitute a librarian's physique. They serve as equipment. Combat pages are the cards and techniques used by librarians in battle. Variety of a page ranges from paperback, hardcover, limited to objet d'art. I don't know how to pronounce that, unfortunately. Pages of higher grades are more powerful, are rare to acquire when burning books. Pages have a set limit of how many can be owned at once, which depends on rarity. Yeah, sorry. It's in French, so obviously you know how to pronounce it. I don't have a great feeling for how French pronunciation works, unfortunately. Okay. So we got 3 of Lenny's page, 1 of Pete's page. That skitter away ability that they were using to run away. What did I say? Objet d'art? Something like that? It's probably awful. Not that far? Alright. It's a very different phonetic system from English, so it's hard for me to just guess. The D is just a D sound, and the T and R is silent. So, like... Objet d'art? D'art? Close enough. Alright, cool. I see you're really self-conscious about that one. Alright, so now we can have multiple. Okay, so that's showing how many we can obtain. Got it. So we have not... That was good. Thank you. Glad you approve. Are these the ones that are remaining? Because we already got 3 of Lenny's pages. And we got 1 of Pete's pages. Okay, so these are how many are remaining then. That makes sense. So we can't pull any more of Lenny's page, but we can still pull more of everything else, if I understand correctly. It is in the Objadar. Pages are fully limited, the rest get restocked once you get everything. Alright, cool. Alright, well, we got a bunch of those. And there are yellow pages this time. We did get a bunch of others. Yeah, so those definitely reset, but the other ones are done. Those are showing up later. Makes sense. Alright, and we got 1 book left. Okay. So we've done that. How can we equip? The key pages, these are the equipped ones. Hi, Carrick. How's it going? We're playing Library of Ruina. For the first time. What a wonderful collection. There's a list of key pages currently owned by the player. What are we doing here? Does this change their physical characteristics? I guess. Finish making some. Spend a couple. My brain is fried. I can't read words. Cool. It is dinner time, I suppose. Keep it to change the character's look, affinities, HPs. That makes sense. So what do we got right now? We got 30 HP, 15 stagger resist. This is definitely an upgrade in terms of stats. These all have the same statistics, they do, but they have different weaknesses and vulnerabilities. I find the rats' key pages are stronger than the rats themselves. Yeah. I'm like, they were definitely not this much tougher than Roland in the fight. Okay, so we can... Panel shows the information on the selected key page. Check the deck, comic bookshelf, passive abilities, and resistances. Page shows the information of the key page currently equipped by the librarian. But new equip the key page to the librarian. Okay, so we select this. Equip. It shows the information of the key page. Yeah. Equip. Your common page is bound to the key page. Sure to configure the deck after choosing key pages. Cards stay equipped to whichever key page they're on, so at some point it feels like you're missing cards, that's probably why. That makes sense. So they're basically like loadouts. That makes sense. Mark that as a favorite so we don't mix it up with the other duplicates. So we do that. And then we can figure the board, I guess. Okay. There's no cards here, so we drag them over, I assume. Cards are nice if you juggle between builds depending on what you fight. Yeah, that makes sense. So we probably want to put in the fancier cards in here. Probably don't need too many low light cards, generally. Strong card's nice, but you worry about how much light you're using. That makes sense. So having a 0 light card is useful for passing your turn, basically. And get 1 back to your return, +1 if you're staggered. Makes sense. do a defensive one, an offensive one. Oh, that's a high roll. That's fun. That one for the gimmick. That's Guide to Survival. You're late through Ruina, but you're not mentally ready for that. Understandable. And we'll do, I guess another light attack card. Sure, I have no idea. I'm really bad at deck builders, so we'll see how it goes. Save current setup. Sure. Okay, so that's our deck. We are at our equipped page. Our enhanced and attributed key pages that we don't have yet. Now it shouldn't matter all that much. Cool. It's more relevant when you have more variety of cards. Makes sense. Make customization, you can customize your librarian's appearance and dialogues. Check the battle symbols in the librarian's possession here. Go from the librarian information tab to the combat pages tab here. Go from the librarian information tab to the key page tab here. Okay, so showing cards they've equipped, their key page, stats. Customization menu, you can edit your librarian's name, title, appearance, body size, and dialogue. Please enjoy creating your nuggets. Remember to save before leaving the screen. Okay, roll in for now. They won't throw anything too complicated. Makes sense. Just go to those save changes. Okay. Well, I'd feel bad about customizing Roland because he's kind of his own character. Oh, they canonize the term nugget? Yeah, that's fun. I guess we'll leave his appearance and name and everything the same for now. We can equip headwear. The chance to boost dagger damage by +1. You can only personalize the patron librarian at each floors. Makes sense. B +1. Beat everyone with a single character. We did that. Add the battle symbols in the corner of their slot. I see that. Cool. That one's pretty subtle. It's only visually keep the buff. Yeah, it makes sense. I do appreciate that's an option. Okay, how do I close? Okay, just click that again. That makes sense. Yeah, 4 different headwear slots. That's fun. It's advanced. Ah, it just shows their combat information. Interesting. Okay, anything else to do here, or do we head back to the library? It's credenza. Credenza, you can read and review various story contents. Tab to see the list of stories you'd like to see. The episodes of the stories of your patron librarians. Check the episodes of brief interactions between patron librarians. Remember a guest and click on an episode. Story chaptering desk group. Select this page of story you'd like to read. There's like a page here. Okay, so this is the lore. See, the page has some story bits around the corresponding character if you want to read those eventually. Makes sense. Somewhere need to give good insight. Cool. Stuff I'll read, but probably not on stream. Keep the gameplay going. Read them in the book section of credenza. Makes sense. Alright then, we already sent out the invitation, it says? That doesn't sound right. No abnormalities? That's concerning. Yeah, we've already customized you. Okay. So I guess we go to the next one. Go into invitation and press the level you want to continue. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Next one, we did the rats. Now this one. We need to use a book of rats to move on. So I told you to keep at least one of the books. Makes sense. Otherwise we'd have to go back and redo that one. Or we just soft locked. Cool, that makes sense. Okay, we have no information. So the invitation. Boiled again. I didn't go through all the trouble of becoming a fixer to do mundane chores like this. You know how it is. Only a select few get a rise up in the ranks. Still, we might see the light one day if we start out with smaller tasks, don't you think? I envy your optimism, Finn. A request like, please find my lost cap before night falls is seriously not it. Garbage offices get garbage requests. Yeah, Finn, you probably have better things in mind when you became a fixer. You know, a bigger field to play on. I'm sure I can move to a nicer office or become an associate fixer someday if I keep working hard. Then I might. That's odd. There's an envelope in my pocket. It says, The Invitation. They're from Yoon's Fixers. Smells fishy. Can't overlook something like this. Besides, if what's written on the invitation is true, those books would be of interest to several associations. It is interesting, but we don't exactly know what's in the library, right? We should report this to the office first and take care of it formally. I ain't about to feed a garbage office that won't feed me. We're going first if you don't wanna. Call themselves fixers. Do you happen to be friends with them? What? Look, assuming all fixers know each other is... It's like picking two random pedestrians and hoping they know each other. Your question is basically asking these two strangers. You're both humans, so you must know each other, right? You get what I mean? I should expect to see so many different kinds of fixers if what you're saying is true. Pretty much. Okay. So Angela, the super AI with human emotions, is kind of an idiot. Yeah. Not a very worldly experienced person. She's spent her entire life in reliving the same lobotomy corporation loop forever. Now, progress the emotional tension of librarians and guests will be heightened. Positive emotion points blue. Gain upon winning a clash or having advantages in battle. Emotion points gained upon losing clash or suffering disadvantages in battle. Emotion levels of characters rise. The overall emotion of the teams they belong to will be heightened. She was stuck underground for what felt like hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah. Pretty miserable existence that probably wouldn't give most people a very well-rounded view of human existence. Your team's emotion level goes up. You may choose an abnormality page to use at the beginning of the next scene. Okay. Those are like other effects then. They're stronger than I expected, so I can beat them, right? Maybe a no-name, but at least have the guts to get here. Alright, stay calm and cool your head. Alright. I have the highest roll. I do like the music. It's very JRPG. Okay. So they've got this dodge and defense. He's got a strong attack. Maybe I just want to burst him down quick with a high damage attack. Assuming that rolls well. But I guess if I don't kill him, and I can't because that doesn't do up to 10 damage, then his second damage die is going to hit me. So I'd want to have multiple dice that I expect to win that clash, I guess. Because even though I roll better than him on the first die, his weak to pierce will take more damage than what's shown if you hit. That makes sense. Okay. Are those my resistances? I think they are. Okay, that makes sense. So I can see at a glance which of these will take extra damage to. That's nice. So both of those sound painful. There's a pretty decent chance of this defending me from his attack, and then I'll get a little bit of slashing damage in. You know, he's got high defense, too. He's only do a little bit of slashing damage to me, which is normal, so I mostly don't care about him this turn, I don't think. So, I'll see what happens. Okay. So they're gonna have this first roll, we're gonna roll slashing damage. We staggered them, okay. So we didn't take any more damage from them. Wise man once said YOLO. True. Okay, so that worked out. So we didn't kill them, they have 2 HP, but we staggered them, so we survived the rest of their attacks. Didn't take damage from them. We did take a little bit of damage from his attack, I think. Okay. We're tied. So he's just going to evade. That doesn't seem like a good strategy. 1 to 4. 3 to 6 has a pretty good chance of hitting him no matter what here. So I think I do that. I love this combat as a simplified version of this with additional stuff on top. Yeah, taking the same idea, but then taking it a different direction. It's cool. Yeah, so they rolled a 1 to evade, so we guaranteed it from there. And now their evade card is gone, so now we can roll again, kill them, we win. Okay, that makes sense. I'm following, I think. And they're not dead yet. Oh, we can fix that. They still have that 2 HP. Okay. They are evading, defending, and then doing a light attack. And they beat a 1 to 5. Now 3 to 5, that is a pretty good chance of beating at least one of those. Then we do that. Yeah, 3 beats it, and they're dead and we win. Cool. So if I understand correctly, the best skill in the game is Boundary of Death. Is that one of the ones that we were using? Or is that a later one? I was paying attention. But, I don't have it for a while. Okay, yeah. I was like, that doesn't sound familiar. So the damage, weaknesses, or resistances, does that just modify the damage you take, but it doesn't affect the dice roll itself? So if it's a 1 to 4, it'll always roll a 1 to 4, but if it does extra damage, then it'll deal additional damage on top of what you rolled. Only affect the damage itself. Okay, just making sure. That makes sense. You're engulfed for the reception of Yoon's office fixtures. Unique page that rolls 1 to 4, but if you roll a nat 4, it gets 45 plus power. So you have a 25% chance of demolishing something. Alright, 25% chance, yeah. 1 to 4 chance. That's fun. We got an extra book for an emotion level bonus. Cool. Curtains closed. No new battle symbols. Okay. So I'm gonna burn most of those. 45 is a good chance to beat basically any enemy skill, even in game. Yeah, that makes sense. So you have a 25% chance of having an I win button on any given skill roll. Alright, so they got 2 body pages. So let's go gambling the card. Yep, makes sense. Some basic attacks, sure. Gotcha! Alright, I think we got enough. Oh, there's a random card in there that has Finn on it. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense. Okay. Well, I want to change my deck at all from that. strike. That one's pretty good. You one good hit in, and then you can dodge. This one's also really good. The key page also there's a chance they're better even if slightly. Yeah, that makes sense. Right, and loadouts are tied to that, so we'd have to reset our deck if we swap key pages. Okay. Yeah, so 42 to 43. And it's 1 extra HP. If I understand correctly. Your deck's loadout so you can load it back if you want to keep it later. Okay, so those are separate, that makes sense. 1 HP and a dream, yep. Okay, we'll swap. Okay. I guess unfavorite that then. Alright, and then the combat pages. Okay. So we can't just copy the pages over like that. That makes sense. Cool. I think that was good. A lot of cards at the end of the game, so I'm glad that function exists. Yeah. See that? We got all those. I don't have Skitter away. Suppose I could put one of these out. I also have a passive now. Do I? Now we do. Slash of a grade 9 fixer. 50% chance to boost slash damage by 1+1. Nice. So we'll keep that in mind. Okay. We didn't have any new stuff. That was get pretty crazy. Nice. I guess we just keep going, do another invitation. We need $3. Okay. Go something. Really one that makes your fast die every turn into infinity. Wow. That's fun. Oops, I canceled. Okay. An invitation. I didn't select the mission. That's why. That makes sense. And the question marks, you need to press on the one you did just again because there's another episode. That makes sense. That's why that's the one we have. Okay. Cool. There, they still haven't responded back to us. I have Finn's here again. Something must have happened in that library. Plenty of fixers disappear without a trace. Oh, it's Yoon himself, in the flesh. Finn is so small you love him. Yep, look at that eye difference. Now he died or ran off for the lack of response means a violation of contract, and they're facing expulsion from my office. There's too little evidence to back up your claim about this invitation. Door appeared out of thin air when they signed the paper, and they disappeared into that? Could be rich people's shenanigans, or Wing experimenting with singularity. Yoon's office does not have any time to spare with things like that. I might still be a grade 9 fixer, but I can sense that something's off about this. Oh, really? How tragic that such good instincts of a grade 9 fixer are wasted on our humble office. Listen up, little frog in the well. In this city, insane events happen every second of the day, most of which you haven't even heard of. You don't have time to be feeling off about something when there's numerous other things that need your attention. If you can't present visible evidence right now, it's not worth looking into. What about that envelope right in front of you, operator? What? You little brat trying to pull a cheap trick on me? I didn't do anything, I swear. But no, Finn's official age is 20. He's very small for 20. Get out for a moment. Hey, this is Yoon's office. Got a good lead this time. I need some cash so I can hire a few. No, seriously, I have a good feeling about this. True, I can end up failing, like you said. And check just one more time if you want. I'm not exactly fond of this method, but... Yep, I have one guy fit for the job. Seems fixers must report to their office before they can even begin working. His height is 148 centimeters, 4'10". That is very small. Wow. Basically child-sized. Well, that's formerly the case. I could bypass that since I ran a one-man office, though. Fixers aren't any better than syndicates when it comes to greed. It looks like this guy's trying to exploit a naive kid, too. We're taking a drink. So this is the library. Now I did show up. Yeah, you can say we might even get sponsorship from an association if I succeed. I'll do my best. Sorry, Finn, you're about to be a card. In a book. I'm gonna go, if I remember right, Roland is 33. Expedition 33? Nah. But no, that sounds about right for him. Young, early 30s. My life isn't over yet, but it's starting to feel like it could be. Greetings, Fixer. I am Angela, the librarian of my role's namesake. Hello, I'm Finn, a fixer at Yoon's office. Is it true that I can find books containing lots of information in this place? Yes, of course. You're given the invitation for that exact reason. You can find your book in this place. So if they only get to get their books and leave if they beat the librarian, and we lose if the librarian loses, then there's no one's ever gonna find a book here? Is that the idea? Oh, we rolled poorly. Okay, what's he got? 2 piercing attacks, 1 to 4. Librarians can't die unless Angela decides so, exactly. So it's basically impossible for anyone to actually earn a book here, isn't it? Otherwise you just lose the books used to send the invitation. Yeah, that makes sense. Otherwise you never lose a fight. Yeah. So we invite people here just to beat them up and turn them into books forever. Now let me try this one. Let's see if we can dodge those attacks. See what happens. He's attacking, we're dodging. We dodged. Rolled a 4, that's high. We also rolled a 4. We counterattacked. Nice. That worked. Could have gone more though, could have rolled worse there. We rolled a 4, we rolled better. And now he's rolling a 2 to 6 and a 2 to 4. 2 to 6 is pretty high. I don't know if we'd be able to successfully block that unless we get a good roll. Wonder if we try to just out-damage him here. It's a slightly higher chance to roll high on slashing damage. Neutral to slashing damage, he's fairly weak to piercing. I don't think we have any good piercing attacks. I guess his last piercing attack will go uncontested. If we survive. Oh nice, so we get the 2. And then free attacks. Okay, that makes sense. Curtain call for the reception of Yoon's office, rookie. Rest in peace, rookie. Rest in pages. I got some books of Finn, specifically. Oh boy, it's not all that delightful to see such a young rookie fall like that, all things considered. Said yourself that our way is quite polite and fair before, didn't you? That, most of the time, people's lives are taken away by others without any consent or agreement. The library is different. People enter this place have agreed to risk death to gain what they want. They even signed the paper to show such agreement. No coercion or compulsion is involved in this process. They make their own choice and pay accordingly. Well, yeah, fair point. Still, it kind of feels dirty in a way. That's what I'm saying. We'll present you with a set of assignments. Complete the assignments to unlock an abnormality battle. When the assignments are completed for the floor, and battle against an abnormality will become available. During abnormality battles will raise the floor's realization level. Now the fun begins, oh boy. The library's current hazard level is perceived by the city. Raising the realization level of each floor will increase the library's presence as a threat. Or its hazard level will rise once the gauge is filled. So that's how much people are talking about it. The library is a thing to be scared of. So we've got the requirements for that. That's what that's listing. Alright, well first, let's burn some books. See if we can get Finn's page here. Ah, we got all 4 copies. There you go. Ally dies, gain 1 strength in the next scene. Well, apparently we don't have any allies, so that doesn't do much. So many cards of struggle. Okay. Let's see how that compares. Finn is slightly worse, looks like. And then potentially the passives being better. I guess we won't switch over. Finn really do be struggling. More value from the 50% chance of more damage. Yeah, exactly. Do I have any struggle cards? I doubt we can upgrade one of those. Needs to gain 2 protection next scene. That sounds useful. Not the evade for now. We haven't run out of light yet. Pick up a struggle. Save our loadout. As a protection or bleed, there's a little window to the right that shows you what it does if you didn't see it. Yeah, I did see that, yeah. For the scene, take X damage and strike 1/3 of the stack each time an offensive die rolls, rounded up. Yeah, so X less damage from attacks for the scene. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Combat betas. So do we do the invitation first, or we go do the abnormality battle? Seem to be doing your job meekly and well for someone who complains so much. We're going to do the Adno first in this case, alright. Else you'd expect after greeting me in such a violent manner. Heck, I was shocked hard. Found myself in the middle of nowhere. The first person I meet blows off my limbs. I was lost at first, but I get the gist of receiving guests now that I've tried it a few times. But I do still have a complaint. Complaint? Sheesh, man, again with that stare. Can't say a thing. Just tell me what you mean. I mean, well, it's kind of tough to receive all the guests alone. Guests arriving one by one I can deal with, but when a whole group enters, the first thing that comes to my mind is, how the hell am I supposed to fight all of them? There's gotta be a point where one person is no longer enough, right? It's only working right now because we've all been facing all we've been facing were minor syndicates and stuff. The whole fuss about heightening emotions. Said I can't just kill the guests right away because of that. What's that odd face hinting at? There is a way, technically speaking. I'm not certain if it's for the best. You gonna join in the fights yourself? No. There are entities that could be of help, however. And those entities are the beings that used to wield tremendous strength and power, but are now too transient to maintain a physical form, hardly holding on to existence. I don't remember seeing any living being in this library other than you and me. They're asleep inside books where the perfect environment for them is simulated, along with librarians who will be of assistance to you. Librarians? Entities inside books? That's all you need to know about them for now. What matters more is that they can be useful for the library's growth. Alright, let's say that's the case. How are those sleeping entities supposed to help us, exactly? You have to enter their books and free the librarians trapped within. I believe they're under the influence of the outer melody's powers for various reasons. Since they're highly unstable, they won't easily trust us. Basically saying they'll take us for invaders. Correct. You can overcome all ordeals presented by them. They'll come to accept you. Instructions slow and clear, ma'am. Said they're as mighty as wet paper now. So they can give any help? If you're not making the abnormalities receive guests for us. They can be understood and accepted. They will empower the librarians, directly or indirectly. Still too ambiguous, I gotta say. Anyhow, what you're saying is that they'll present us with ordeals, basically, and we have to overcome them during their recognition and borrow their powers. Entering books? Sounds like something out of a fairy tale. We'll need their power to heighten the emotions of our guests to the peak, after all. Much to success in there. Sure, anything you say, ma'am. The Book of Bloodbath. Okay. That's right, this place really is bizarre. Creepy looking blood clots all over the place too. After my vaguely aroused will doesn't have what it takes. Scars about marks of failure. It won't be any different. I like how we're on the left now instead of on the right. Because we're not the ones defending the place we're attacking. Okay. Takes 1 to 5 less damage from slash attacks. So slashing is not a good choice here. Yeah, endures slashing anyway. The Adna fights use remix of the trumpets from Lovocorp. That's fun. Pierce damage resists normal, blunt damage resists weak. So we want to do blunt damage here. What is possible? And I can boost 3 speed to boost the max value of block dice by 3. Losing character? Yep. Character incubates different resistances to physical and stagger damage dealt by each type of attack. Deal extra damage by attacking when damage types the opponent is weak to, denoted by fatal and weak. On the contrary, attacking with damage types resistance is set to endured or ineffective will cause less damage. This resistance is to your advantage in receptions. Clicking on the character, you can view the list of passive abilities they possess. If you observe a character, you can also check the resistances of various damage types. It's weak to piercing, stagger, but not to normal damage. And it's fatally weak to blunt stagger. Okay. I want to not do slashing. I want to do blunt or piercing. This will do a lot of piercing potentially. Or we can try to dodge its attacks, and then it's just gonna block everything. Okay. So we do need to actually roll something with high damage to get past its block. And since it's only doing defensive actions, it's not actually gonna counterattack, right? So we can just do this one, hope it beats the first die, and do damage, I think. We tied, did no damage. Rolled 1 again, okay. So he is doing the same thing, just defending. These all do slashing. This one is blunt. 1 to 4. I guess we could just roll well on that one. A little bit of defense. Yeah, and he rolled a 6 on that. So we could do. Well, this isn't going well. Okay, now he's attacking. They're doing 3 blunt attacks. Those are 1 to 3. Flash wind, inflict 2 bleed next scene. So this one, he has 1 to 3, we do 3 to 7, so we should win that clash most likely. Then we can try to block the second attack. Alright, wow, that was a lot of damage. We staggered him, perfect. And now we get a free attack. He's slashing 1 weak piercing. Most of our cards do slashing damage, which isn't ideal here. 1 to 4 bludgeoning. He should still take some minimal damage from slashing, so this will get. Let's do piercing. Okay, so all of his risens are considered fatal. Oh! I didn't realize I did that. I forgot about that. That makes sense. Okay, well then, yeah, let's just maximize damage here. We get inflict bleed, or we can just do a boatload of damage. I think we do a boatload of damage. Any straight lower damage from slash, it still have a damage boost. Yeah, makes sense. Alright, now he is much lower. Okay. So he's doing his blocking thing again, so we need some tough hits. Or defend ourselves. 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 4. We have a decent chance of these slashing attacks hitting. They're not going to do much damage. But they could inflict bleeding. Oh, we don't have enough light for that. Never mind. Doesn't matter. I guess we tried to beat him on block and dodge. Inflict bleed. I don't think these have a good chance of rolling high enough. Ah, he rolled well. Nope. Nope. Nope, we are staggered. In theory, you can just skip your turn by not putting a skill in. That's a good point. If we don't have any good cards, we could just let it happen. Oh, well, I can't do anything here. Poof. Ouch. Sorry, Roland. Alright, we have 1 light. I'm gonna do a 1 to 6 attack that can inflict paralysis. So let's try to do a defensive action then. 4, nice. Paralysis is so annoying. I can imagine. Okay. He's gonna do a bunch of defenses. Let's just pass the turn so we can regenerate light. Nice. Nothing happens. Now he's gonna do a 1 to 6 hit. What do we have that can block that? We can try to do a 1 to 8 hit. Or a 2 to 6 defense. And then eventually do bludgeoning. I like that. 3, 3. Okay, so we took no damage. Counterattack. Nice. Bonk. Alright, spamming attacks. We have 1. So that limits what we can do here. He's got 12 HP. We can't kill him, I don't think. I guess we go for the stagger. He is weak to piercing stagger. So stagger damage, just the same calculation as normal damage? Is it just the die roll plus modifiers? Yeah. So theoretically, if I get a good roll in this, I could beat his 6 remaining stamina. Or stagger. As it should be. Cool. That's an option. We only have 1 light to work with. That's gonna be a lot of damage if we don't block it somehow. You can theoretically roll slightly better on those 2 clashes. Or we can gamble on the stagger. Let's try it. Maybe I'm wrong. Nice, okay, we did successfully stagger, perfect. He's not deaf, but he's very close. Okay, and now we should be able to finish him off. Pretty much anything that does damage. There we go. Should be thankful the muscle's weaker than it used to be. First try, let's go. Look at that. Suppression of bloodbath complete. One assistant librarian's woken. You now have access to new abnormality pages. The emotion level threshold is increased to level 2. This time has been added. You have now unlocked a friend. And we have abnormality pages. Unbearable depression overwhelms all who look into the bath. I remember the bloodbath abno. Defensive dice gain 1 to 2 power, receive plus 3 to 5 stagger damage at 1 hit. Oof. So, if you think your defensive dice are gonna be good. Scars, when I saw the last work of scars on your severed wrist, I was reminded of a wine cabinet. The day I popped the cork off the last one. As lobotomy cork references. Now I take 2 to 5 less damage from slash attacks. When hit, reduce the damage of the attack to 0 at a 20% chance. Oh, that's pretty good. That's just a straight benefit. Hands float in the bath here. The hands of the people I once loved. Three successful attacks on the same target deal 3 to 10 bonus stagger damage. Nice. So how do abnormality pages work? I don't think they explained it. Lobotomy Corp reference to my Lobotomy Corp sequel? It's more likely than you think. The main character is literally one of the central characters of the Lobotomy Corporation. We have Owen. Assistant General Works Librarians page. Alright, these are still the best stats. I guess we can now potentially benefit from when an ally dies gaining an extra strength. Contains emotion level, and if fight goes up, you'll get a selection of admin pages depending on what you have available. The emotion levels and the ratio of positive and negative emotions. That makes sense. Got it. Alright, I guess we'll try Finn's page here. It shows the page you want and who you want to give it to, and it's basically a new password for the rest of the reception. That makes sense. I see, so that changes their outfit. Alright, cool. Those still, and we have no combat cards yet. Got harvesting. Let's get all the colored cards in there. Librarians can be freely customized if you want to indulge in that. Yeah, it did. That makes sense. And doing a small modification once for achievements. Got it. We'll do that then. Like that. Use that one a few times. I just do whatever you feel like doing with them. Cool. Oh. That cancels. Good to know. On Clashwood, restore light. That's cool. Alright. That looks good. And our key page, we got our cards. We can customize. Preset name list. Bong Bong! Light Restoration is so good, yeah. You can imagine. Oh, we could even customize their dialogue. Maybe you also want cards to draw more because your hand can run out very fast. Really fast, that makes sense. They go psh, poo, poo, boom! On you, so have fun. It's kind of fun that you can fully like customize their personality this way. I'm not sure there's any important info in these books. You can do a lot. What the heck? I can't believe it. Someone please end this hell. The person next to me just turned into a book. Yahoo! Did you just see how I did that? That's a piece of cakewalk. That's fun.
No way! I can't believe this!
No way! I can't believe this. Oh, they got so many hairstyles, wow. Like different fringes and things. That's fun. Really customizable. Like a nice ponytail. It's like green hair. There we go. Anime. Bong Bong. Customized librarian. There we go. Alright, cool. So now 2 librarians, unlock all lower floors, rise to the rank of an urban myth, rise to the rank of an urban legend. They're gonna be legendary. Okay. So now we can do rank 3 here, the Book of Finn. Okay, I think we're good. Did I burn books? Yeah. Yeah, good books from, Abnormalities. Just know why it works the way, but it's kind of a shame that the Keter Floral expands every now and then. Yeah. That makes rolling not that good for a while. Makes sense. And I guess they want him to be, the starter. Finn has failed as expected. It wasn't going to last too long anyway. It's just mediocre. Should have gotten a decent modification surgery. Or had enough talent to make up for his lack of experience. He didn't have any of that. He's nothing more than an overconfident brat. Too bad, I kinda liked his affable and cutesy attitude. I agree, he was bound to die sooner or later. Congratulations, by the way. You must have more options now that you're a grade 8 fixer. Chainsaw sword, let's go! That is a glorious sword. Yep, so you better be careful. You don't pay me well enough, I might move to another office. Now that you're barely covering your own taxes these days, let alone the monthly rent for this office space, am I wrong? I believe the case I had Finn handle could make a breakthrough. In the library and the invitation you talked about earlier. You said the invitation appears randomly now. How are you going to get another one? I wouldn't have called you if I didn't have certainty. Recently received another invitation. Is that so? The existence of our office depends on this case. The library is sure to be profitable. I have a hunch, so we're giving it everything we have. Alright, let's roll in some dough. I just bought this lovely thing here from a workshop, too. This guy seemed quite determined. We should prepare accordingly. Whole office coming at us, huh? Maybe a small and insignificant one, but it could prove to be a little tough for the library right now. Where did they make it all the way to your room? Guests cannot act outside of the space we prepared for them. That's how this place works. After all, this space is created with limitless power. And you somehow jumped right into my room, when you weren't even invited. Anyways, I'm capable of protecting myself, so there's nothing for you to worry about. Greetings, dear guests. You must be the owner of this place. He doesn't even look that strong. Finn must have been here earlier. What happened to him? Ah, that one has become a book. I see, so you turn into a book if you die here. Acting all sentimental when you were the one who sent him here, knowing he'd fail? Shut up. We all get exploited and abandoned at some point in our lives. You can find your book in this place. Some receptions are composed of multiple acts. You can check the number of acts in the reception here. The indicators to the number of acts in the order can be found here. Okay. There are 2 acts. 3 floors? Is that what that's saying? So basically battles in a chain. That makes sense. Okay. We got our characters with their decks. I guess we go. The emotion levels of characters rise, the overall emotion level of the teams they belong to will be heightened as well. When your team's emotion level goes up, you may choose an abnormality page to use at the beginning of the next scene. Floors available means you can use up to 3 different floors, but if you lose with one or switch between acts. Got it. Now it doesn't matter since you only have Keter. Got it. So if we have multiple floors, then you can switch between them. Which has abnormality pages, Awakening Blue and Breakdown Red. New pages typically consist of purely beneficial effects from the user. Breakdown pages offer powerful effects that come with drawbacks. Floor offers a different set of abnormality pages to choose from, and the likelihood of each type of page being presented depends on the ratio of positive and negative emotion points that the team has built up. What do you mean blue? That's green. Maybe they're colorblind. Could be. Yeah, psh, pow, and boom. Alright. Alright, bing bong. What do we got here? They're stabbing, and then they're gonna restore... They're both doing the same thing, okay. Piercing damage, and then defense. High defense. So I could try to do a high defense on the first attack, and then a decent attack on the second. This one has a decent chance, I think. Try that. Against you. And then... I guess we can have multiple people attack the same person, right? So... we We can have you also attack number 1. Try to kill them quick. I'll just do a boatload of slashing damage. How's your slashing? Your fatal. Perfect. The game on someone, but that means the other one is going to be unopposed. That makes sense. We'll see how that strategy does this time. Beat that one, and then they're staggered. Finish them off. It is a viable strategy, though. Makes sense. The game fights that I only beat by doing that. Makes sense. As long as you survive. Okay, there's just one. They're doing the same thing. Maybe just break through their clash. And they got a lower initiative, so they'll go second. We'll just do a bunch of damage, uncontested. Already staggered. Beautiful. Then free damage, and they're dead. Nice. That one pretty smooth. I don't want to die, I want to live. Too bad, you're booked now. Get used to it. Alright, and now Act 2. Urinary. Do you think being a book counts as being a dead or alive? Probably neither. It's probably a state of unliving. Okay, so you've got 22 HP at 8 stagger, you've got 22 and 10. So then we want to focus Airy first, eventually. Yeah, 5 light. Okay, so you are weak to slashing, you are weak to blunt. You're being attacked by a bunch of people. They're both just always doing preparation. Interesting. I guess they really want extra light. Alright, so I could block this. And then try to win the defensive clash. Three to four, 3 to 4. Yeah, so what does this do against this? I don't have a super great chance of winning that one. But it's possible. And you've got high damage. Pretty good chance of beating that. Or have your own weaknesses. True, true, true. I think we're going to be taking damage. I can also do preparation too. We just try to draw. Alright, so you take blunt damage. Do we have anything that does blunt? No. You take heavy slashing, so let's slash you up. Preparation is a 2-3 page, so who cares? Yeah. We'll be fine. Okay. You're gonna just try to kill that guy. And then we can contest this one. So I want to win that second one. 3 to 4. There's a decent chance, I think. Let's see how that goes. Roll a 3 to attack. You roll a 6. Boom, you're staggered already. 3 damage and you're dead. Well. Okay, you rolled a 3. We rolled a 3. No damage. We rolled a 4. Nice. Now win the healing clash. Alright. Got 2 abnormality pages to look at. Scars. Balance damage from slashing attacks. Each successful attacks the same target deal 3 to 10 bonus stagger damage. I like that one. Neither of them have hands that do multiple attacks anymore, but that's fine. Officially use an abnormality page. Only you character select to get the buff. Yeah, makes sense. You win haste next save. Uh, 2 to 6 and 2 to 4. That's rough. Pretty good chance of failing these, but if we're lucky. Don't want to get rid of Flora. This is very funny because giving it to someone kills all the other librarians and super buffs the one you chose. That is fun. Likely taking bludgeoning here. No matter what, we were weak to that. It's unfortunate. We can try playing defensively. See how we roll. That's 3 to hit. Nice. 2, and damage. Well, that worked out. Roland is taking a little bit of damage, and that's it. Alright, time to wail on him. There we go, there's 3 damage. Dead. Buckavari obtained. Alright, Yoon's office has been wiped out. They no longer exist. Rest in peace. Yoon got a stagger headgear and deserved it. True. Excellent. This guy's called Yoon can make an especially valuable book for us. They're like moths diving into flames. The Yoon guy seemed like a clever sort, but even he ended up blindly jumping into the fire to get what he wanted. Once you've had a taste of desire, it comes in like an unstoppable wave. It's a quote I heard a long time ago. Is that desire true to one's heart? Well, aren't you being funny? So you despise roundabout speech, and now you're being all poetic. 10 out of 10 delivery. A certain librarian I know would have taken an arm and a leg off if she heard that. Get back to sorting books. Just as Angela said, really got another floor to the library. Hey there, my name's Roland. Angela, I still can't forgive you. Hey, Malkuth. Angela, you... I thought we were already done with that topic. You simply need to cooperate without complaint. That was the deal, remember? Try to appreciate that fleshy body of yours you finally earned back. Do you really think you could make me happy by just giving me a human body? Don't forget, I still don't agree with you. As you wish. Damn, that was tense. Hello there, I'm the patron librarian in charge of the floor of history. Malcute. Yep. Malkuth. Seemed lively, at least. What was going on just now? I had some unfinished business with Angela. Probably heard bits of it, but I had no choice but to follow her orders, no matter how I feel. Look at her, such a bean. Yep. Pat, 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 pat. The same shoes as yours. I seem to have ended up here for different reasons. So what can I do for you? I can bring you books, Roland. So I'm in charge of the floor of history. I'll be sorting the books you bring and collecting those that are about history. As librarians will then read the collected books, gradually making our floors whole and completing the library itself as an extension. And we'll naturally get to unlock more floors and awaken their patron librarians in the process. The other librarians are asleep for now? Yep, they are. Get the gist of it. You're surprisingly bright for someone who was so upset moments ago, by the way. Kinda worried I might have to endure some of that wrath. Can't let my personal affairs get in the way of work now. Still have my problems with Angela, but it's not like getting mad about it will do me any good. I have my own reasons to do my best with this work too. Okay then, let's give it our best shot. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting along. Now it's like the floor of history during reception. Patron librarian has awoken. New assignment has been added. This middle portion allows you to navigate the information of the floors that are currently available. More floors will be unlocked when certain conditions are met. New librarians are shown on new floors. View the information on the newly opened floor here. You can check the librarians, floor assignments, and abnormality pages. As they said, Bong Bong is locked to that floor. Except for this one, we just have Malkuth. Interesting. Yeah, we select which floor we use, right? So I guess we'll only be using one or the other, mostly. So you have to beat Adventist to get more librarians. Makes sense. Now we can burn all the new books we got. It's like at the start of a reception, too. Makes sense. Got a lot of grade 9 fixer books. Right. Burn! Burn it all! Wait, Yoon's page? Does Zeri not have a page? She does, okay. They turn into books and then we burn the books. I got 3 of them. And he's got more HP now than he did. Boost the max value of A dice by +3 at a 50% chance. Ooh, that's good. So much better at random dodge tanking. Max value defensive dice by +3 at a 25% chance. So less reliable, but pretty good. Rishi also didn't have a passive during the actual fight, yeah. That's always fun. So many preparation cards, look at that. I think they all stack. Commandeering. Give 1 protection to all allies next scene. Has +2 power to the next die. Unhit inflicts 2 fragile. Am I prepared yet? Considering they used that the first turn both times. That was a card just called Wallop. And we're gonna wallop them. Alright, so I guess we can outfit Malkuth then and try it out. One protection allies. Use all the purple cards. Struggle. High defense. Look at that. Dirty blow. Bleed. Forget to give her evade, that's right. I did forget. Okay, makes sense. We can't overlap on pages. I guess Yoon's page is the best, especially if we stock up on evasion cards. She gets to the chainsaw sword though. If we go with Ares' page, that's fun. He's got good defenses too. He's only got 1 fatal, and the other ones are normal instead of weak. I'll go with Yoon's page, but that is fun. You ever keep it already on someone else, but someone will get back to default librarian. Makes sense. Okay, so I'm still gonna use little purple cards because they're better, probably. But now we're gonna look for ones that do evasion. He's got the evasion bonus. The passive. And light defense. Quickness. Now some more 2s, maybe. Preemptive strike. You're too slow. And another skitter. we go. Cool. That's probably fine. We got our queue page, we got our combat page. Got our librarian. We can equip gear. Don't have any gear for you yet. We did unlock headwear for Ping Bong, or Bong Bong. There we go. Okay. Now I guess we can do the next invitation. Brother of Iron, Mo. You guys should regularly refill your head with brain fluid. Dry brain dulls your thoughts. I know I've been feeling so hazy these days. Forgot the Brotherhood of Iron was a thing. Where are we going to rob this time? I think we should go for a workshop. Workshops are rich and they have useful components too. How about an office? Should earn some infamy if we take down an office or two. I don't think we'll get anything valuable from the offices we can take on right now. Restaurant then. I like delicious stuff. You moron. Already forget that we got our new bodies? Forget why we got our new bodies? Because we wanted to focus on earning without having to worry about food or sickness. That's right. We're enduring like crazy. These bodies just need brain fluid, fuel, and some repairs from time to time. We can make money without feeling hungry or thirsty. That's true. It costs a fortune to get ourselves whole body replacements. So they're brains and robot bodies, classic. I'm still uncomfortable. I know I don't have to eat anymore, but I keep thinking about all the tasty things I had before. It makes me want to taste them again. That's because we got cheap bodies from a cheap workshop. We just have to earn more, and we can replace our bodies with better ones. Most expensive ones can even adjust emotions and completely shut off desires, on top of having good performance. Those are almost as expensive as a Nest household. You can worry about that later. Let's focus on money making now. It's all about money in the end. So don't bring up restaurants. You're making me want to eat stuff too. No, there's a piece of paper stuck in your body. You have to really put your trust into someone to get a full body change like that. Yeah, I could never. If I lived in the cyberpunk universe, I just could not do that kind of full body conversion. That'd be terrifying. You don't know what they do with your brain before putting in a new one. Yeah. That just sounds awful. I like how this body doesn't have any sensory systems, but it's annoying to be unable to feel things like this. Let's have a look at that piece of paper first. I don't think it was in your body until just now. Maybe we got too infamous and someone sent us a calling card or something? Or maybe a coupon for yummy new food. And they really want to eat, and unfortunately they can't eat anymore. They've scooped up their brains and put them in metal bodies. Are all syndicates composed of such half-witted individuals? I was expecting someone more refined. It all depends on the syndicate. The city is crowded with them. You even say there's one for every fixer out there. A number of thugs gather up and do things under a name, and you get a syndicate. You're involved in all sorts of different businesses, so it's hard to give a general description beyond that. They seem sloppy. Are those machines? They are machines or AI, despite their appearance. Pure machines carry their own emotions and desires have long since disappeared from the city. These guys are just using whole body replacements, and low quality ones from a shoddy workshop at that. I see. Yeah, I mean, Angela should know all about putting brains in metal bodies. Alright, shall we prepare for the reception? So we can find valuable stuff here, right? We just have to chop up some monsters and take some books. This body is strength if nothing else. Came here for loot, but what if that piece of paper was all a lie? Maybe we were too naive. There's no need to worry, dear guests. In this place, we strictly play by the rules written on the invitation. Yikes. Welcome, dear guests. This is the library. And I am Angela, the director and librarian of my role's namesake. In this library, you may obtain the books listed on the invitation. If you overcome the ordeal, that is. It must be one of those plays by rich folks. It's all entertainment to them. Heard of that? They kidnap people from the back streets, trap them in a labyrinth no one can escape, make them wander in there, fighting for eternity. Till they die, never to see the light again. We've already come this far, we have to do this. Don't be so gloomy. You can find your book in this place then. I got bad news. 1, 2, 3 floor. Floors that can participate in the reception are shown here. Alright, so we can select which floor to use. Let's try out Malkuth. Maybe a bad idea, I don't know. We can try out the evasion, see what happens. If she doesn't win, you can still use Roland. Alright. Do you think our metallic bodies are stronger than your soft flesh? Monsters, I'll chop you all to pieces. Yeah, like restaurant coupons more than books. Confident about this work. Alright, here I come. Okay. Each floor has its own version of the battle theme. That is fun. Charge up. You can use restore 1 light to inflict 1 paralysis on self next scene. Dodge and strike. Dodge and strike. Okay. Well, that is the biggest threat in terms of damage. And they're going to attack first. Try defense. 3, 4. Now we dodge. I do damage back. We defend. Failed. That tracks. Alright. Chop it off, blow it up. Endure. You inflict paralysis. You also inflict paralysis. You just do a lot of damage. I don't know why the music changes, because your motion level went up from 0 to 1. That makes sense. I wish it didn't change to level 2. Yeah. Just happened rather abruptly. I need you weak to slashing. Kind of. Weak on resistance at least. Alright, let's try knocking you down. Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. We got you. Staggered. Defense. Nope. The chain is a generic thing that's the same for each floor, too. Yeah, that's a shame. Alright, well, this didn't go very well. Alright, let's evade a bunch. Unclash Wind, add +2 power to the next die. Let's avoid that strong attack. Next die. Yep. Okay. And struggle. Let's get our way again. Dried up. Endure. Dodge and strike. You're gonna do the most damage here. So, and you are weak to what? So what if we dodge, strike back? So before we dodge that, Blocks, we hit. Weak, we dodge. We get hit by that. We get hit by that. The action economy is rough. Alright, but we got one person about to die, one person about to be staggered. Okay. Strong hit. That's a lot of damage. Okay, we wanna mitigate all that slashing. It's interesting, it's guaranteed to be 1 and guaranteed to be 3. Okay. Last hit is a 3-3. We could potentially beat that here. Deflect. Deflect. Ah, dang it. Rest in peace, Malkuth. Definitely gonna lose this one. Okay. Should not be spreading focus. We should be trying to take these guys out faster. See if we can kill Arnold at least. We're staggered. Doesn't matter. Yep. Defeat. Next one. Cut on floor of history. Alright. But they keep their... Is that their health depletion that is tracking there? Let me defend with the next floor. Alright, so they keep their damage. They recover their stagger meters, but their health goes back. Okay. Keep their health and emotion levels. That makes sense. Okay. Piercing. Piercing. Yeah. We're both doing high defense. Honestly, we kind of just want to ignore you guys. Not do a clash. Well, I guess the last hit will do a paralysis anyway. This could beat hit for hit, blow for blow. We can just try to take out that first person, Arnold, as quick as possible. 3 to 7. And we can just do that. And then let's intercept one of these guys. They're about the same speed, actually. We wouldn't be able to intercept them. Let's see. They're both doing a high defense attack. I'm going to try to finish off Arnold. Bend. Ouch. Flash. Flash. Okay. Did not manage to kill. Roland took a lot of damage from that. And they're doing the same one again. Endure. So let's ignore them. Maybe. That paralyzed. The character plays any combat page up to 2 random dice on it, have their maximum roll value reduced by 3. Oh, that sucks. I see what you mean. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Okay. Let's Play survival, maybe? Try to beat that. Redirect that attack, and then you just defend against this. Block that. Hit. And then... Nice, deflected. Damage back. Dodge. Nice. What do we do on Normality now? 5 less damage from slashing attacks. Have they been doing slashing? They've been doing some slashing, yeah. Sure, let's shield Roland from slashing attacks. Okay. That's a bunch of slashing damage on Bong Bong. You only live once! And has a big burst. Looks paralysis, that's rough. I was getting mugged in an alleyway, yep. Defense and inflicts paralysis. Rude. Do a lot of damage there. 3 to 7. Has a decent chance of beating the first clash. Defensive. Or just dodge a lot. And also try defeating their burst. 12. Do I have anything that can contest that? Not really, I had to get lucky. Okay, survive and get 2 hits though, that's pretty good. I got 12. I can do up to 12. Or weak to a bludgeon. And to blunt. You're doing slashing, let's redirect that. Look at that. Let's just try to dodge, I guess. That's a 10. Nope. Ouch. Dodge. Dodge. Max damage. Nice. Oof. Successful attacks. Sure. That to you. Oh, the max roll followed by that minimum. Yeah. Okay, go on. We got everyone's low. We just have to land some hits. Okay, we can definitely overpower you here. And then I know 1 to 8. Probably land that. Nope. Ouch. Didn't go well at all. Come on, don't die, Bong Bong. You defeated one of them finally. Okay, we're probably trading here. 1 to 4, I can beat that. Just die. And, good luck. Yeah. By Bong Bong. Dang it! Come on! No! This is looking dicey. Very dicey. 1 to 6, 2 to 5. 2 to 6. Now let's try to defend. Nope. Nope. Alright, staggered at least. I really don't like Bong Bong. I really do not. Okay. Well, they're staggered. Let's just ignore that. What are you doing? A 1 to 12 attack, okay. And we're about to be staggered too. That is probably gonna stagger us, because we're weak to that. Alright, it's mentioned at some point that the suffering is still part of the process, because Angelo raises memories of dying from my brain, so they carry that fear with them. That's fun. That makes sense. Okay. Nope. We're staggered. No chance it doesn't stagger, but yeah, it's gonna hit hard. Yep. Unfortunate. Alright. This didn't do much damage there. Oh, ouch. Okay. That's gonna inflict paralysis, but such is life, at least it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Alright, yeah, we're guaranteed to win at least 2 of these. Oh, I don't have light for that. Never mind. 1 to 4. Maybe. Yeah, just try to kill them. There we go. Okay, now it's 1 to 1. 1-on-1. It's a little bit more doable. Okay. You go in high defense. I can do that too. Nice. Okay. And that one's weak. Weak dodge, weak strike. Let's do a strong slash back. Nothing. Slammed. Staggered. And then you slash on the dude, you give slash damage reduction. Yeah, that worked out. Okay. I got 2 to do an attack. 3 to 7. That'll work. Alright, that was very close, but we did eventually win. We lost 2 out of 3 librarians, but it's fine. Call for the reception of the Brotherhood of Iron. They'll get better. Bong Bong is dead. Can't believe they're dead. I just know those all have trade-offs. HP minus 1 stagger resist. That makes sense. See, it's not a good idea to keep your brain inside a hunk of scrap metal. Isn't it still better than a frail human body, though? There are plenty of ways to enhance your body without replacing it for another. Heck, there's actually many options. Tattoos, prosthetic limbs, medication, drugs, you name it. It's all possible as long as you have the cash. Metal symbols matter very little in the grand scheme of things. Makes sense. Yeah, they're all pretty small buffs. Missing your body with a machine, on the other hand, is a one-way ticket you can't ever go back on. Bodies cannot resemble humans too closely, even if it's for someone swapping out their flesh. That goes down the drain right away. And does one when does one put their brain in a machine then? When you urgently need a huge amount of money, and sell off your old body and organs for a good chunk of cash. 2, when you need to do repetitive work for a long time. I heard mechanical bodies like that aren't bad for that kind of labor. Broken parts can be quickly replaced, and desires can be kept under control, so it has its merits. Repetitive work for a long time. Does that sound familiar, Angela? What, interested in getting a new body? No, I was just reminded of my past for a moment. A very long time. Alright, we got books to burn. Alright, we got 2 people's pages. And the rule end to this point is no ID. Angela is the type of machine that's supposed to be taboo. Just thinks she's a weird person. Weird human. I got all those skills that they were using. Chop it off! Only live once! Cool. So we didn't get any of Mo's pages. Apparently we're at 43, 22. These are on the same level as what we got already, basically, in terms of stats. We can look at their abilities. Successful attack, inflict 1 paralysis at 25% chance. Successful attack, inflict 1 paralysis at 25% chance. Eh. I guess that could be situationally better. We did not get any Mo pages now. Hopefully we didn't need any. Mo pages, Mo problems. Oh man, we got so many people to outfit. All 3 are basically the same. Yeah, that makes sense. Still story attached to it. Yeah, makes sense. Let's see. Do we get any that are really good? For 1 light, inflict 1 paralysis on self next scene. That's not bad for like a we're out of light ability. Drop light off, pick up charge up. This one's just 1 big damage hit. It's fun for 3. That was pretty useful last time. We don't want too many 3 card pages because we're not going to get many chances to use them. We can drop quickness, pick up on the bots. Wow. Sure. Okay. In the Book of the Brotherhood of Iron, didn't we do that? No, I guess not, technically. Now we have it. Now resolve bugs. That's the generic bug, not the name ones. Yeah, that makes sense. Time to redo the fight. Ah. It didn't count. Okay. Cool. didn't get the basic unnamed one. Alright. Alright, let's do the other floor first. Does it matter? Do I get a chance to both floors, or do I always have to start with the lower floor first? Does it matter? Start with whatever you want, okay. I think it'll go easier if we start with 2 librarians, and then we have our other person as the backup, when hopefully their numbers are lower. Okay. That was more practice learning the combat. That's good. Okay. High defense, inflict paralysis. High defense, inflict paralysis. Low attack and then an evade. Try to just burst through that. And you're weak to piercing. Or how we should be able to see the chance of getting either possible book for each of them. I don't think it says there. I see tooltips there behind the character information. If I select, there we go. There we go. 50% chance of getting the Book of the Brotherhood of Iron, 50% chance of getting 3 copies of their personal book. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, we can also redirect one of the attacks off of Roland. These are all blunt. Neither of us care about blunt. We're weak to blunt. We're both weak to blunt, okay. Good to know. None of them are particularly weak to slashing. Arnold wants to take a little bit more hit damage from that. Might be able to win this one. You can try it. These guys are both doing defensive clashes. And a little bit of blunt damage. We just gang up. Nice. Take those hits. But then staggered. Slash. Almost dead. A little bit of glass cannon for 1 turn. Change for nearly killing one of them. Alright, and then we've got 4 light to work with. We can use a powerful card. 1 to 4, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Oh yeah, we can demolish that guy. And then Roland can go finish off Consta. Nice. Didn't actually kill, but that's fine. Take less damage from slashing attacks. Let's give that to Roland. It works, it works. You only live once! Oh, you're gonna do that too, that makes sense. Alright, just trying to kill Arnold there. And you can defend against this. You got 15 stagger resistance still, so this probably won't stagger, I don't think. Instead, we can just try to dodge it, maybe. Get a little bit of damage in. Roland slapping a near dead man with a wet noodle. Yep. Ouch. Oof. That didn't go well. Alright, both people are low now. Yeah, two people with very low health on the enemy side. They're not dead. You're doing defensive. 1 to 8. I might break through the defense. And do the 2 points of damage we need to kill them. Roland is staggered. Nope. We rolled a 1. Okay. Oh. We can just get demolished in that turn. Okay, cool. Well, let's kill one person before it's Malkuth's turn. How about? 2 to 3. 3 to 7. End it. There we go. Oof. Still alive. Somehow. No chance still 50-50? I think so. Where's that listed? Oh, there's. Oh no. 33%. Interesting. I don't know what that means necessarily. I wasn't paying attention. I think that means it dropped, maybe? And we're probably dying here. To 4 slashing damage. And you resist slashing now. Can steal one of these. Motion level influence is likely to certain books to drop on death. Ah, I see. Level 0 is 50-50, but at 1 it's 33-67. Got it. So, they want us to win this fight before our emotion levels increase, which, unlikely. Good chance to break through that, I think. Nope. Nice, okay. Alright, unless you can, unopposed before they attack, yeah. Okay. Doing all defense. We still got full stagger. Defend against that, and then unopposed, we can carve him up. I messed that up, actually. It's fine. We win anyway. There's a bunch of attacks. Dodge. Gonna do a big... Actually, piercing, they're weak to piercing, we'll do that. Nope. Nope. Yes! Fantastic. Okay. Maximize damage here. There we go. Did we get their book? We did! Alright, good. I have all 3 characters' books. Well. You did it, at least. I got a few generic ones, yeah. Alright, you have all the same passive. Makes sense. Cool. That is neat. And now the book we need. Let's see. I got time for like one more. Let's see, here. We now completed this objective. Book of Scorched Girl. I know this one. Sure. Let's get ourselves another librarian if we can. Grasping onto that charred matchstick like it's the only hope. Rock slowly and goes kaboom. Have that, Drax. Last match flame. Scorched Girl. Those 50% of max HP becomes staggered when an ally dies. Is all light upon becoming staggered. So you want to kill her allies quickly. She has a 500 HP. Okay, got it. Broken Hope is just gonna dodge on useless 5 HP. On Afflict Burn. I beat the dodge? Probably. Try that. FIs are brute forceable, but they're firstly a puzzle fight. Makes sense. Got hit. And now we're on fire. End of the scene, take 2 damage and strike 1/3 of the burn stack. Rounded down. Okay. We're just gonna dodge. Well, yeah, I'm not recommending waiting before doing his Tifriths first. Alright. Giant Pain, you hate it, so you came back with better cards. Makes sense. Let's see. They're weak to this if this lands. We just gotta beat the dodge. Nope. And that beat the dodge. Yep. I'm gonna dodge again. This one's gonna burn itself. Boyo! Hi, Jackal. How you doing? And we can beat the dodge back. Nope. Nice. There we go. Max damage, look at that. Let me burn. Okay. That one's just dodging again, that one's burning. Oh, that's got a pretty good range on it. Yep, that's guaranteed. Well, not guaranteed to hit. Very likely to hit. Good chance to block. Oh, that is guaranteed 3/3. Okay. Pretty good chance to block. Once the last stream, how have things been? Pretty good, pretty good. My streams have been kind of erratic lately, I'll admit. Lots of family events and stuff around the holidays, but doing good, doing good. Getting through a lot of games, which is exciting. Did all of Star Fox, that was fun. Or just started the Library of Ruina today. Beautiful. One down. Okay. And this time you're just dodging. 1 to 9, wow. I like those odds. No. Failed. Still did some damage though. And now we only got 1 light. So it's going to do its burn. I think this is better. Nice. Nice. 4 HP left. Alright. And it's just gonna dodge again. We only got 1, so this is our only option. Nope. Nope. Alright, just gonna dodge again. We have no light to use anything, so we're gonna pass. Active Manager Buell's job is to handle demons then? Basically, yeah. But this time it's librarians. That same idea. Alright, it loses 5 HP when it uses this. Does it just immediately die from this when we win? Got a preemptive strike. Oh. Whoa. That was a lot of damage. Alright, well, we defeated your matches, though. So we win. Bakoom! Brands, but except for Roland, is really just the same crew. Yeah. Still Malkuth and all of them. All of them folk. So, have the books helped? Yep, I'm sorting them all somehow. Seems to be working, thankfully. Line, there's no Abnos. Fair enough. This is what happens when you return a book late, yep. You get kidnapped to a library where you're forced to fight horrors. By the way, I think I remember Handela saying something along the lines of you earning a fleshy body the last time we met. Were you, like, not human before? It was like a replacement body. A change that could never be reverted. And all the new avenues are described concepts in Lobocorp. Yeah, they had all these good ideas, so like we might as well use them for something. You had a brain transplant surgery, but somehow managed to go back to your old human body here? It's actually pretty impressive. Thanks to the library's powers, I'm guessing? Yeah, I think so. Now you're still be held back by common sense in the library, huh? Take it that you don't really like having your body back? You didn't seem too happy back then. Oh no, I actually do like it. So this isn't exactly how I wanted things to go down. What do you do in the past, then? Yeah, I wonder. What was I in the past, really? You wouldn't believe it, but this is actually my 3rd try at life. This library and its librarians have a lot of history behind them. 3rd try? Can you come back from the grave or something? It's accumulated memories from my 2 previous bodies that were carried over, to be precise. My past selves. I really thought about it that way before. Difficult problem you're facing there. How about your present self? An irresponsible person who let down everyone's efforts. An idiot who tried to reach for something out of my means and ended up causing trouble, I suppose. Whoa, hold your horses. Let's not get too dark here. I need by this point they don't consider their original selves to be them anymore. Yeah, well, considering how much of themselves was tied to their bodies, it makes sense. With how Lobocorp ended, that they would be, somewhat disassociated from that time period. Just come down for a moment. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Ah. In. And out. That's cute. Relax now? Yeah, it really helped. Thanks, Roland. Should know better than anyone that it's pointless to get upset over things I can't do anything about. Gotta start with the things I can take care of first. I'll try hard with my work too. Let's take our time with the problem of past selves. Best realization level 1 to 2. 1 assistant librarian's awoken. You have access to new abnormality pages. The emotion level threshold is increased to 2. Ashes. When hit, inflict 1 to 3 burn to the attacker and gain a buff with a 40% chance next scene. If the dice inflict 1 burn on hit, does not stack. Our body represents the child's crumbled hope, while the ever-blazing flame represents their obsession for affection. Falls. When a librarian's HP is at 20% or lower, deal 30% of the target's max HP as damage and inflicts 1 to 3 burn upon approaching them, then die. Okay, so you can suicide bomb to deal a third of their HP. That's crazy. But it falls funny because it's really just a suicide attack. Yeah, it's just a suicide attack because you die from it. You know, if you got just a small amount of HP left and you're just fighting someone who's already pretty low too. Nope, you're gone. Alright, and then the first 2 combat pages the librarian uses after this abnormality page is selected to gain the matchlight status. Starting on play pages, the librarian uses a page with matchlight, gaining 1 ember. This sounds like a gotcha ability. We're talking about specialty status effects. But Val's applied to everyone on the floor, not just one of them. Oh wow. It's very luck-based, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that makes sense. Your librarians page with matchlight gain 1 ember. Pages with matchlight become stronger based on the amount of ember, however they have a 25% chance to damage the user if embers at 4 or higher. Wait, boundary of death being a 25% chance to fuck you. Yep. That was beautiful. Alright. Rhea. I like that name. Give it that name. I can't see the hair color against this background though. We'll just brighten that up a little bit. Like covering one eye there would be cool. Does any of the voice lines forever whenever one? Yeah, I'll take from the list. That's fun. That is good though. I missed you could change all the face expressions. That's fun. Yeah, it's so many options. I'm just always scared. Eyebrows, you can choose the mouth shape. There we go. That's nice and terrifying. Oh, the window when doing those is a pen icon, just let you put whatever you want. That's fun. Oh, you can, yeah. I don't know what that does. Key pages is cosmetics, is that what that is? That makes sense. That's fun. That doesn't affect your stats, but it does affect your outfit, your weapon. There we go. Max up body size. The current keep it stats, but you keep the look of however you want. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know what that toggle does, but do that. Oh man, they're even bigger than the portrait. That's funny. Did we get any? Yes, we did. -1, stagger resist +1, sure. Can I equip it? Guess not. That goes for the Canard level of pages, Canard being your current rank of FP. Ah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, we can equip stats here. Why are these a different color? Oh, these are slightly better. Sure. Need to be stronger the higher you go, so you can sort by rank. That makes sense. I gotta equip cards. Only live once feels appropriate for this one. Charge up. And then some one card ones. This is pretty good for dodging. It was like the preemptive strike one. There we go. That one is nice. Attack and then you get away. Solid one hard stab. That'll work. Alright, cool. Malkuth is wearing that. Let me disable that. Yeah. No. We can't turn off the helmet. Alright, because the helmet is a worn item, that's right. There we go. I like that though. Keep your usual outfit. I forgot about the helmet. There we go. Yes. Battle symbols, that's right. Same with Roland, I think. Give you your default outfit for appearance's sake. You can call them ego gifts if you want. I know you did for most of the game. Yeah, they're basically the same thing. I'll even be using some of the cosmetics. Alright, but I think we are going to call it there for tonight. I'm having fun. We're off to a good start on this game. I think I will look for that mod so that we don't have to do as much grinding for all the cards later. But yeah, it's been fun so far. Alright, do I have to do anything special to save? Is it gonna autosave? I hope it autosaves. In the book mod, you just gotta get one book of each, it autosaves. Cool, yeah, it looks like it. Alright. So I guess we'll continue doing this on one of the stream slots. Probably just whatever I'm feeling for. And then for the other time slot, we'll start doing one of the marathons. Probably, I'm thinking Luigi's Mansion. I am curious about doing that, so maybe I'll figure out how to stream Luigi's Mansion. We'll go do Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3. I feel like we played Luigi's Mansion 1 on stream. Maybe I'm misremembering. But I remember playing it not too long ago. Yeah, I feel like I did. I'm pretty sure. So I'll go see how to set up the next one. That should be a nice short marathon, relatively speaking. Now we're figuring out what we're going to do after that. Alrighty. Who is live at this hour? Short marathon, that is contradictory, true. I call them marathons. They're not really marathons, but I don't know what else to call it when you play through an entire series from start to finish in order. Binge, kind of. That's true. It's not all in one sitting. It's over the course of multiple streams, but... Yeah, no friends online, which is not surprising. Small Ant's mom is streaming. That'd be cute. Or we can do an offline raid. I think an offline raid sounds good. Oshu was streaming the other day. Do an offline raid to Oshu. Alright, thanks for being here, Jackal and Yahazu. Anyone else lurking? Appreciate you all for stopping by. I think Carrick did too, right? We got a couple lurkers too. Well, I appreciate you all lurking, stopping by. Hope you have a great week. Hope the winter storm isn't affecting anyone too badly. And yeah, see you next weekend. I don't think I have any other plans next weekend currently, so hopefully it's normal stream weekend. But as usual, I'll let people know if that changes. So yeah, see y'all next time.